Mr. Krabs isn't just cheap, he's obsessed. He's sold souls, endangered lives, and betrayed friends, all for pocket change. But is he truly evil, or just a product of his greed? By the end of this video, you might see the Krusty Krab's owner in a whole new light. Part 1. The price of greed. From the very beginning, Mr. Krabs is defined by one thing: money. But this isn't just your average business owner hustle. His obsession with wealth is so intense, it warps his judgment and warps the lives of everyone around him. Take born-again Krabs. After eating a rotten Krabby Patty that he refused to throw out just to avoid wasting a few cents, he literally dies. And when he meets the Flying Dutchman, he begs for a second chance at life. He's told to change his greedy ways. He agrees. He's reborn. And within seconds, the entire lesson goes out the window when he sees a penny on the floor and sells SpongeBob's soul for it. A single penny. That's how cheap life is to Mr. Krabs. Then there's Jellyfish Hunter. After seeing how much customers love jellyfish jelly on their burgers, Mr. Krabs goes full industrial. He tricks SpongeBob into capturing hundreds of jellyfish so he can milk them for jelly in secret. He even hides the operation from SpongeBob, who thinks he's just feeding one happy jellyfish. It's not until SpongeBob finds a massive underground factory that he realizes Mr. Krabs has been running a full-blown jellyfish labor camp. And it gets worse in The Krabby Chronicle. Mr. Krabs realizes he can make money by starting a newspaper. So what does he do? He forces SpongeBob to write sensationalized false stories about the citizens of Bikini Bottom, just to sell more copies. He doesn't care about the damage it causes. He doesn't care whose reputation gets destroyed. As long as it brings in profit, it's worth it. This is the pattern. Over and over again, Mr. Krabs shows us that he isn't just greedy. He's willing to sell out anything and anyone if there's money involved. Souls, animals, friends, truth. It's all for sale. And if you think it stops at strangers, just wait. Because in part 2, we're getting into how Mr. Krabs treats the people closest to him. And it might change how you see him forever. But before we uncover the real truth behind Mr. Krabs, you should subscribe to the channel because there is about 97% of you who didn't subscribe yet. Part 2. Friends, family, and employees. It's one thing to be ruthless in business, but what makes Mr. Krabs' greed truly disturbing is how often it targets the people closest to him. Let's start with SpongeBob, arguably his most loyal employee and closest friend. In episode after episode, Mr. Krabs takes advantage of SpongeBob's loyalty. He doesn't pay him fairly. He makes him do extra work without question. And in Squid on Strike, we find out something wild. SpongeBob doesn't even know what a union is. That's how far Mr. Krabs has gone to keep his workers in the dark. When Squidward and SpongeBob finally try to stand up for themselves, Mr. Krabs' response isn't negotiation, it's trickery. He pretends to agree with them, only to fake an apology and manipulate them into working even harder, for even less. SpongeBob doesn't even realize what happened. Squidward is defeated and Mr. Krabs walks away richer. And then there's the lost mattress. SpongeBob and Patrick replace Mr. Krabs' old mattress, thinking they're doing him a favor. But Mr. Krabs loses his mind, not because he loved the mattress, but because he'd been hiding his entire life savings inside it. He never trusted the bank, he never used a safe, he just shoved cash into a mattress and hoped no one would notice. Even worse, when they agree to retrieve it from the dump, Mr. Krabs refuses to help, because the dump charges a $1 entry fee. He sends them to risk their lives against a vicious guard worm just to avoid spending a single dollar. That's not just greedy. That's psychotic. But it's not just employees. Mr. Krabs treats his own daughter, Pearl, like a tool for financial gain. In Whale of a Birthday, he tries to cheap out on every part of her birthday party, serving ketchup packets and recycling gifts. It's not until SpongeBob steps in that she has anything close to a real celebration. And in Selling Out, when Mr. Krabs finally gets rich by selling the Krusty Krab, you'd think he'd use that money to relax, retire, or spend time with Pearl. Instead, he immediately regrets it, not because he misses the restaurant, but because the new corporate owners don't pinch pennies the way he does. He literally buys the place back. Not to protect SpongeBob, not out of love for his business, but because he can't stand the idea of someone being less greedy than he is. The people around Mr. Krabs aren't friends, family, or co-workers, they're tools, and he uses them over and over again as long as it keeps the money flowing. But what happens when greed like this goes too far? What happens when the town starts to push back? In part 3, we look at the few rare moments where Mr. Krabs finally faces consequences and how he always seems to wriggle out of them. Part 3. The consequences that never stick. For someone who's constantly putting others at risk, Mr. Krabs rarely faces real consequences. But every once in a while, the town pushes back, and those moments reveal just how much damage he's capable of causing. Let's start with the scent of money. In this episode, Mr. Krabs discovers that Gary is attracted to money. So what does he do? He uses SpongeBob's pet like a tool, literally tying him to a leash and forcing him to sniff out coins across town. He doesn't just use Gary, he exhausts him, pushes him to the brink, and treats him like a machine. When Gary eventually collapses from exhaustion, Mr. Krabs shows zero guilt. It's dehumanizing, or, well, de-snailizing. And like always, he walks away without any real punishment. In Patty Hype, SpongeBob invents colourful pretty patties that customers absolutely love. The Krusty Krab is empty, and Mr. Krabs mocks the idea until he sees SpongeBob getting rich. Instead of congratulating him or learning anything about creativity or innovation, Mr. Krabs tries to take over the business. But when it fails for a reason SpongeBob never even caused, Mr. Krabs gets to walk away, while SpongeBob takes the fall. Again, zero consequences. But maybe the most haunting moment comes in one-course meal. This time, Mr. Krabs targets someone he hates, Plankton. He finds out Plankton has a crippling fear of whales. And what does he do with that knowledge? He uses it to psychologically torment him. Mr. Krabs goes so far as to dress up as a whale and stalk Plankton around town. He drives him into hiding. Plankton becomes so paranoid and broken that he literally tries to end his life. That's not just cruel, it's villain behavior. And how does the show treat it? As a joke, Mr. Krabs walks away laughing, while Plankton gets no justice. These episodes prove a disturbing pattern. Mr. Krabs knows what he's doing. He's not ignorant or clueless. He's calculated. He tests how far he can push people, and when they break, he moves on without remorse. So, is Mr. Krabs evil? Final thoughts. Is Mr. Krabs really the villain of Bikini Bottom? Evil is a strong word, but when someone constantly exploits others, puts profit above safety, manipulates emotions, and causes real harm without ever learning from it, what else can you call it? Mr. Krabs is more than just cheap. He's manipulative, reckless, and emotionally detached from the people he depends on most. And while the show paints it as comedy, the impact is real. His greed isn't just a character quirk, it's a system of control, a way to keep Bikini Bottom running on his terms. He's not twirling a mustache or plotting to blow up the town, but sometimes the scariest villains are the ones who smile while they ruin lives. So what do you think? Is Mr. Krabs just a greedy businessman, or is he Bikini Bottom's most dangerous character in disguise? And don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into Bikini Bottom's biggest mysteries.